Hello everyone. Welcome to our healthcare webinar. I'm Paul Nunez with Sony Healthcare, and today I'm going to take about 15 minutes to talk about Nucleus, Sony's digital imaging platform. In these next slides, I'm going to show you some of the elements of Nucleus, including the major hardware components, the user interface, and the process of creating and sharing content. Nucleus is video integration for healthcare. So for those of you that might not be too familiar with Nucleus, what is video integration? Well, if we're talking about healthcare, video integration is the ability to take disparate video signals that might be used in any clinical space and easily route them in real time to displays in the procedure room, and to do that with a control interface that's super easy to use. Remember, it's being controlled by doctors, nurses, and techs whose primary goal is to care for the patient. Nucleus can be installed in the simplest outpatient procedure room, GI lab, ENT lab, all the way up to the most complex EP labs and hybrid ORs. So why do we need video integration in the OR? Let me walk you through that. Not too long ago, traditional ORs looked much like this one. Many procedures were open procedures where the surgeries were performed with conventional surgical instruments. As minimally invasive procedures became more popular, endoscopy equipment was wheeled into the OR on endoscopy towers, giving the surgeon a great view, but others in the room, specifically our anesthesiologist over there on the left, didn't get a great view of how the procedure was progressing. Oftentimes, plugging the tower in also created a tripping hazard, so the surgical light company started to add equipment booms. And all that endoscopy equipment eventually moved onto those equipment booms. Since we're hanging endoscopy equipment from the ceiling, let's add some surgical displays and a wall display over there on the left. Now we have an integrated OR. If additional equipment is needed to complete the case, we can easily connect it to the video integration system. Everybody gets a great view, less tripping hazards. This is the Nucleus integrated OR. Let me walk you through an example with more realistic images. This is actually an OR at a prominent children's hospital in the United States, which is now mostly used for cardiac and neuro cases. Barco originally provided the wall displays, but once they got a look at Sony, they standardized all their surgical displays to Sony. Those displays can be selected and routed independently with video resolutions up to 4K. It's all controlled on our touch panel user interface right there on the right, which is actually an all-in-one touch-enabled computer. It's made by a third party, but it runs our software, it looks great, and it really complements the look and feel of Nucleus. Bringing equipment into the room and adding it to Nucleus is easy. In this OR, there are Sony ports on each of the columns. Just pick the one that's closest, plug the equipment in, and it's displayed on the screen in no time. A Sony port is basically a network port that's been configured for Nucleus. Nucleus uses video over IP. We convert video from all sources using an IP converter, and then we send all that traffic over the existing hospital network. What we don't do is we don't use baseband video switching or signal-specific video ports anywhere in the OR. This eliminates the need for a video rack in the OR. It results in a much smaller footprint, less noise, less heat, less dust, and lower power consumption. And since we're using a network switch, we can repurpose a port on that switch to be a Nucleus input, an output to a display, or repurposed altogether. The Nucleus IPC or IP converter is the heart of our system. It's FDA approved and supports video from all clinical modalities that the user wishes to capture or broadcast. Think of any device in the OR. If it generates video in the visible light spectrum, we can connect to it. The modality IPC supports resolutions from analog video, such as composite and VGA, all the way to 4K, as well as 3D video, and features video standards commonly used in clinical modalities. The display IPC shown here on the right comes with a special enclosure that allows it to connect directly on the back of any display that supports a VESA mount. This is the extent of the hardware footprint in the OR, one IPC for each modality, and one IPC for each display. Here's an example of an ophthalmology setup that I mocked up for a demo. Every source connects to an IPC and then to the network. The same thing for the displays. The PTZ camera and the touch panel can connect direct to the network without an IPC. The touch panel is intuitive and easy to use. It shows all the modalities that are connected in the room. In this example, we have 6 devices connected. It can start and stop the capture of any source, switch the right image to the right display, and broadcast to anywhere in the hospital. Any source can be recorded by touching the record buttons shown here in red or the image capture buttons in blue. Multiple sources can be captured simultaneously and are available for preview within just a few minutes of the end of the case. The touch panel can live on the nurse desk, it can be mounted on a wall, or if necessary, it can be eliminated altogether, and the entire user interface can be controlled from any web browser. So for example, a nurse computer that has Microsoft Edge or Chrome can have a tab open that completely controls Nucleus in that room. Let's take a quick look at how easy it is to switch video to one or more displays in the OR. Nucleus uses one-touch routing, so simply look at the touch panel and select where the source and the display intersect. Touch that button and the image is instantly sent to that display. Any display can be set up to show a single image, 2 images side by side, picture-in-picture, or if the display is large enough, quad or 4 images can be shown. This method of showing multiple images on one display can be especially helpful in larger ORs where, for example, the anesthesiologist needs to see the clinical image without taking her eyes off the patient vitals. In the case of a hybrid suite, we can send the large imaging display in its entirety to any other display in the procedure space or in the control room, showing all the tiles the physician needs to perform the procedure. With Nucleus, you see what the physician sees. And this is how broadcasting works. Multiple video sources can be streamed to local clinical teams, classrooms, sim labs, and any authorized location. And the reverse is also true. So for example, a pathology lab can stream the microscope image directly into a surgical display in OR1, giving the physician the information he needs without breaking scrub to go to the phone. A physician that works out of 2 or more rooms can use the broadcast function to quickly check if his next patient is ready in the next OR, or if he has time to return to his office. If there's a pan-tilt zoom camera in the OR, remote viewers can be permitted to control the camera for an even more immersive experience. Once the procedure is finished, the broadcast ends automatically or can be ended sooner by touching the broadcast button again. We also have a rough editing tool built right into the Nucleus interface called Content Management. So there's no need to download large video files onto removable media or use third-party editing software, which can often be cumbersome to install and manage on a hospital PC. Our content management system allows the user to easily locate, playback, and edit content by simply using the web browser that is already available on their hospital PC. Capturing an image during video recording automatically creates a bookmark on the video timeline, so you can get to that spot in the video with ease. Users can scrub through hours of video very quickly and select only those moments that are most important. Once all the edits are done, a new, smaller file that stitches all the edits together is created, or an individual file can be created for every segment that was edited. The final product can then be stored back into the patient file, a VNA, or PACS system, or downloaded to removable media. The original content is always preserved and secured in case it's needed at a later time. Only those users with proper credentials can access and download content. As Nucleus evolves and improves, we're constantly developing solutions that fulfill our customers' immediate needs while looking to the future. This is Nucleus Tiles, a new feature that's available with the latest Nucleus release. Tiles is an enterprise-wide streaming and connectivity tool that allows clinical spaces to be connected using the hospital network. Spaces such as intensive care units, pathology labs, classrooms, physicians' offices, and more. It's available in 3 different layouts. Let me just touch on some of the use cases at a very high level. Status View allows users to visualize every OR at a glance. This is perfect for quickly checking room status. So for example, a nurse supervisor can make the best decision on where to put the next patient or to quickly locate a staff member. Hospital administrators can use Status View to monitor room turnover and housekeeping practices to ensure compliance. And clinical engineering can locate a piece of equipment without wasting time going room to room. Room View and Procedure View allows remote users to get a full immersive view of the case, with one or more clinical sources streaming simultaneously in high definition and 30 frames per second. Perfect for broadcasting, simulation rooms, as well as consultation with other physicians on the hospital network. Tiles can run on any network-connected PC with login credentials. It's browser-based, so no special software is needed. Another great feature in the latest software release of Nucleus is Color and Structure Enhancement, or CAS. CAS uses special algorithms to greatly enhance the color and structure of an image, allowing nerves and blood vessels to be seen more clearly. Although it has not yet been tested by any of our customers in the US, we think it'll be very helpful for certain procedures. CAS can be easily selected and adjusted right at the nurse touch panel. I know some of you on the call are on the education side. Nucleus is the ultimate collaboration tool for webinars or live symposiums. It allows the best clinical minds to communicate and share innovative techniques and real-time insights in a highly engaged setting, utilizing one or more clinical spaces. There's usually no need to bring AV resources into the OR, and the entire production can be controlled and moderated remotely. In-person and remote attendees have the ability to ask questions and receive expert advice in a real-time setting, and the entire interaction can be recorded for later use. In this example, we have 3 ORs performing surgeries for the target audience. One individual, perhaps sitting at the back of the conference room, has remote access to the Nucleus system. The moderator, standing up there at the podium, can tee up the next patient, prompting the PTZ camera in the OR to be broadcast for physician introductions and perhaps a slide showing the patient information. Afterwards, the clinical views are broadcast as the physician walks the attendees through the case. As the case is finishing up, the moderator can request a view of the next room and so forth. Many teaching hospitals are already using some form of audio-video collaboration for their students, and Nucleus makes the whole process easy and affordable. And just a quick word on remote monitoring. Every Nucleus installation includes System Watch, our remote monitoring system. The same system used to monitor our professional broadcast equipment deployed through Major League Sports and the movie industry. With System Watch, we monitor all major elements of the Nucleus system, all the way down to the individual IPC in the OR. Should a problem occur, we can quickly determine the cause and alert the hospital, clinical engineering, or IT department so measures can be taken to resolve the issue without it affecting patient care. This is an enterprise view of the Nucleus platform. What we aim to do here is integrate all clinical and non-clinical spaces across the entire hospital enterprise. As you come across opportunities in your respective sales channels, we want you to think about Nucleus and how it can complement what you're already selling. Bring us in, and we'll be happy to set up a personalized demo or a proof of concept to see if Nucleus is right for your customer. And with that, we've come to the Q&A section. It was my pleasure presenting to you today, and we can now open it up for a few questions. Thank you.